Anyone still writing? Okay.
Okay, perfect. Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today?
Good.
Good to hear. All right. So first and foremost, I want to thank you to the board for coming here today. I know you guys have long, busy schedules. Okay, so allowing me to present to you guys on my findings today on why Texas is our future and why we should move our headquarters from Florida to Texas, and the opportunities that we are missing, right, is very important. So, first and foremost, who am I, right? I see a couple new faces. My name is Tabernilla. I have been working for EverTrust for 8+ years, and I have a master's in business administration, okay? I am part of the Financial Technology Association and NAEPC, the National Associate of Estate Planners and Counsels, which gives me a strong background, not only in finance, in business, but also law. Right, so with that, EverTrust. As you guys know, EverTrust is an AI digital platform, okay? It allows users like us or legal services to access digitized documents, important documents, wills, trusts, bank accounts, and more, and for future use and for efficiency later on. With that in mind, through my research, me and my team have found 3 imperative benefits if we were to move and relocate from Texas to Florida. That being 1, a superior socioeconomic demographic, 2, favorable data laws, and 3, a stronger business and financial incentives via tax cuts and more. So, to start off with demographics, okay? Not only does population exceed Florida by around 8 million, with right now counting along 30 million, all right, and growing, compared to Florida having 22 million, it is also important to note how, okay, the socioeconomic population also makes, on average, $8,000 more compared to Florida, okay? So Texas has an average family median income of $81,000 compared to Florida, which is 73, okay? With that in mind, it also comes to show through our research how one of the key important factors of growing a business in our area is money, okay? Who uses money, all right, to set up people for their future? People with money, right, to set up for their family independence, for future family growth, and more. As to why, in the next upcoming 5 to 10 years, Texas also has a demographic as of right now untapped, right? While Florida has a matured market with 65+, right? We right now are targeting 35 to 45 middle-aged workers so that they can eventually use our services, as to show how the potential of Texas is greater than Florida. Moving forward, favorable data laws, okay? Data laws, there's a whole bunch of it, right? There's a whole bunch of nuances, but to be very clear and very efficient, okay? Texas shows a clear digital estate policies, a stronger protection and compliance stability for the future use and alignment with EverTrust AI models. As you guys know, AI is a big word right now, okay? And in doing so, there's a lot of nuances and people are confused on whether or not, okay, what information is available out there. With that in mind, Texas Digital Assets Protection, all right, allows, and is an example of this as well, which allows fiduciaries legal access to digital records, encrypted files, and cloud assets, which Florida does have, but it is lower in scope. In doing so, it doesn't co-align with our future goals and long-term direction, which in turn, this also adds to the Texas data privacy and business stability laws, right? Which allows, okay, clear requirements for Texas and businesses to have certain access and how to use that information, encryption, and consumer outputs for consumer use, okay? While Florida, on the other hand, doesn't have said or certain rules and regulations as of yet for data privacy and other things as well, which in turn will increase for future use of how we do things with infrastructure, of how we do things with certain operations procedures, and more. Clear-cut and efficient. Finally, an important note here to add is, right, moving to a different state, our headquarters. It is important to know that this is a big financial investment. So what are we here to do, okay? And that is to mitigate said costs. Through my research, me and my team have found different ways to do so. First and foremost, though, it's important to see the taxes. It's not said over here, but Texas, compared to Florida, has 0% corporate tax and instead has a marginal tax of 0.375 or 0.75%, depending where you find, in the research. But it also has many other incentives as well, right? There's the enterprise funding, right, grants, and the enterprise zone programs, and a whole bunch of different other things as well. But the enterprise funding program, which allows deal closing cash grants to attract and / retain businesses with tax deduction and cuts, and the enterprise zone program, which puts headquarters, if you were to relocate, right, a sales tax refund tied to job creation, which in turn allows us to not only mitigate our costs, but have an easier use of not only relocation, but also employee redirection as well, if that makes sense, yes. This in turn, also as you can see on the very bottom, has the data center exemptions, right? Which uses sales and tax exemptions for data center equipment and electricity, right? Very important for us as it allows us to build and grow exponentially through tax cuts and mitigate said costs, okay? So, with that in mind, as we can see, Texas, it is clear and apparent that Texas perfectly aligns with not only our financial goals, our legal goals, our demographic goals, right? But all in all, a good fit, a great fit for why we should move. So I asked the board here and now to approve of Texas as our new headquarters, because if we said, or I said to you guys, if location matters, the answer is yes, because the right address leads to the right future, not only for the company, but for the people who will eventually use it. With a raise of hands, who is willing to move from Florida to Texas with me? Perfect. We get that majority vote. Thank you guys for your time.